The rainy season that has rendered so many Nairobians homeless. Erick Omondi again came out today and accused the governor of his ignorance and avoiding to speak the challenges the people of Nairobi are facing. As we look on this video, Erick Omondi was trying to save some people who were affected by the rain in the slum areas. Erick Omondi has accused the governor of rushing to make a press conference instead of sending his management team to do the safety save for the people of Nairobi. And what is so much paining so many people of Nairobi is that these county officials, they are paid by their taxes, and when it comes to helping them in terms of management of disaster, the governor doesn't act on immediate effect. The challenges the people of Nairobi have faced recently, it has shown and it has exposed the governor's leadership that they are not ready to handle anything in case of emergency. Erick Omondi has again warned the governor not to dare do any press conference in any part of the county because they are watching him. As we check on these stories that are taking place online, the governor recently faced corruption allegations, and yesterday we saw him making a press conference with the opposition leader. Many are saying that governor is trying to hide behind the opposition leader Raila Odinga so that he can be saved in the committee of accounts in the parliament for him to be safe. At the same time, many are saying that the governor doesn't control anymore the members of parliament of UDA in Nairobi, which places his seat again into a shaky shamble situation that he might be impeached. And so many residents of Nairobi have been rendered homeless, and some sleeping on the roof top of their houses. And there's somebody who has advised the residents of Nairobi, when such a scenario occurs again, make sure that you buy a rope or you have a whistle so that when you swim or when you get stuck, you can use a whistle to come out, because they are criticizing the county government of not quick to respond to the situation, because tonight it might rain again and tomorrow.
We have the police to help us. Where the structures need to be cleared, they must be cleared, no matter whose it is. And that's why I've thanked those in the informal settlements have been more cooperative. But those higher up in Kileleshwa, in Lavington, in Kilimani, we will just have to use force, unfortunately, because it is about saving lives, and so we're going to do that. You're right, the matter has been perennial, because you see our drainage system over the years, has been constrained. We have a constrained drainage system. But with the work of the Green Army, that's why when you saw during the El Nino, there wasn't much flooding, because the water didn't reach the level of rivers bursting their banks. If you look at most areas that flood, after the water settles, it flows, and so the drainage is flowing, but the capacity of the drainage is what is constrained. What we're dealing with currently, the crisis now, is bursting of river banks. And the river banks is not a drainage issue; it is rivers, and it is encroachment onto the rivers. If you go along, and you see many of our rivers, the valleys are what the informal settlements went into. If you look at from the 1948 master plan of Nairobi, the areas that were set aside as buffer zones between the river and the higher areas where the richer people took, is where we have our slums and our informal settlements. That is where you have Madare and the depth of Madare Valley. That's where you have, Kibra. That's where you have Mukuru, along those valleys and the rivers. So the issue right now is not, the normal perennial issue that we have of drainage, but just the bursting of the banks of our rivers across. And that is why I've said we have halted all processes of development approvals for now, until we can review all of those that have been issued and where they are, because we shall not allow any development upstream to affect lives downstream. It is not fair, it is not right. We've also said, and our enforcement is here, our building enforcement, all excavations and such sites, because of the rains, you weaken the foundation. I saw one photo in Westlands where someone's excavation is right next to the wall of a neighbor. With this kind of...
According to the Nairobi governor, the problem of Nairobians now is no longer about the drainage system. He says it's about the bursting of the rivers. But the question that so many people are asking today, if the rivers are bursting, does it mean all Nairobi is covered by the rivers? Those are the questions we're seeing people asking on social media and different parts of the country. But the Nairobi governor has tried to put his own ways to handle this. As the situation continues to worsen in different parts of the country, not only in Nairobi, the national government has asked Kenyans to exercise precaution and avoid living in those areas that are flooded. And also, it has asked its rescue team to act with immediate effect to make sure that whenever they receive any call in terms of emergency rescue, they should act with immediate effect. The governor of Nairobi has also set a team in place to make sure that all the affected ones are helped or they get the government assistance at the time required. Let's wait and see. Keep locked here in the Diaspora Stories. Make sure you share these videos, like and subscribe. It's your boy, Mr. Super Latin.